Local 4 News starts now with a forewarned weather alert.
Threat of severe weather has diminished, but in some areas, significant damage has been done, and we are not quite done with the storms and rain just yet. Good to have you with us here for Local 4 News tonight at 6. I'm Devin Skillion.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Karen Drew in for Kimberly Gill tonight. And as we watch the major storm system just move out, DTE is reporting about 6,500 of its customers are without power.
So start things off at the top of the hour here with Kim Adams and where things stand now. Kim.
Well, I think I have some good news for you because the severe weather threat is really quickly coming to a close. We still have some light to moderate rain showers down in parts of Monroe County, but no thunderstorms, nothing severe. The strongest storms are right now to our south, anywhere from Perrysburg down into Bowling Green and through central parts of Ohio. But we mentioned this yesterday that we thought this could happen, where the storms we had earlier in the day really just rob us of the energy and the instability needed to get these storms firing up a second time, because the cold front hasn't gone through yet. It's still out to our west, and typically that's when we'd see some showers and thunderstorms ahead of it. But again, the atmosphere is just kind of tuckered out, and so it's pretty much done. Tapering down for the evening. The storms will pretty much be to our south, but we can't rule out until that front goes through an isolated area of rain, maybe even an embedded thunderstorm, but we're not expecting widespread severe weather. Looks good for the Tigers game tomorrow, but a little bit breezy. And then the weekend looks really good and feeling good as well as temperatures start to go back up to normal and even above normal. Although we got to 76 today, which was, I know, pretty high. A little bit of sunshine popped out this afternoon and spiked that temperature up. It's the perfect time for you right now, if you haven't done so already, to go download the Forewarned Weather app. On days like today, in between newscasts, it's a great way for you to keep up to date on all the latest weather in your neighborhood. Even if there's lightning nearby, if you have kids in sports, this is really invaluable. It puts the radar right in the palm of your hand. Just go to your favorite app store and type in WDIV.
All right, thank you, Kim. Some people couldn't escape some pretty major damage from the storms, like at this home in Royal Oak. The homeowner had just gotten home when he heard a loud thump as a big tree landed on his roof. Neighbors say the wind whipped up really suddenly, throwing garbage cans around and taking down several trees.
People have also been sending us some storm-related images through my pics. This one from Mrs. Damon, who says she lost a pine tree when a big gust of wind came through there.
Lisa Ann B. sent us this shot from Celine.
Wow.
Dark clouds moving in around 1:30 this afternoon. It looks like a professional photograph.
I know,
right
great
there,
shot.
right?
Yep.
You can send us your My Pics through the My Pics tab on clickondetroit.com and on the Click on Detroit app.
Well, we've been closely following a controversy in Wyandotte involving a cell phone tower near an elementary school.
And those public meetings on the issue, boy, they've been getting really tense, to say the least, with some parents voicing concerns about what they believe are possible negative health effects from that tower. Another meeting is just underway. Sean Lay is there live, and Sean, the next couple of hours really could be eventful.
Or next couple of minutes, you are right, Karen. This is a special school board meeting called by the board. Parents who are against the tower you see right behind me on Washington Elementary, they believe tonight may be the end of this controversy. They believe it may be the end of this tower. This notice going out from the Wyandotte School Board alerting the district of a special meeting that's starting right now, where on the agenda a single item to consider a confidential legal opinion. Here's the background. Parents at Washington Elementary here quickly organizing and have been fighting against this T-Mobile cell tower and cell tower equipment placed on the school and on the school playground. The result have been tense meetings with tempers flaring, police having to be called. Parents say not enough is known about radiation from the towers and any impact on their kids, and they want the tower gone. They don't feel that they have been heard by Wyandotte Superintendent Dr. Catherine Cost. What those parents are focusing on right now tonight, has the superintendent stepped down? Is she stepping down, or is she being removed? Or is she staying in place? And is the tower staying in place? Parents believe the school board can take a revote on the tower and then break its contract with T-Mobile.
We're very hopeful that tonight we're going to get somewhere. What we're being told, it seems like a positive move in the right direction. You know, we think that we now have some leadership that is willing to stand up to T-Mobile. And we're now hopefully getting rid of some leadership that was not willing to do that.
Well, there could be big changes tonight. Let's talk about that. Of course, we reached right out to Superintendent Cost today to see if she is at tonight's meeting or planning to go, if her job status has changed in any way, if this cell tower situation has changed in any way. Right now, the meeting is underway. We were told the superintendent is not there. We have a crew inside. We'll let you know what happens as soon as we get word. Back to you.
Definitely going to be interesting. All right. Thank you, Sean.
We first reported yesterday about a shift among the automakers in the electric vehicles race. Ford's first quarter EV sales dipped below 11,000, while General Motors jumped to 20,000 plus, the most EVs they've ever sold during a financial quarter. However, when you add Tesla to the picture at 161,000, pretty clear Ford and GM are right now fighting for second place. But are they gaining any ground? And where does the electric vehicle industry as a whole stand right now? Our business editor Rob Maloney's been digging into the trends and joins us live with what he found. Rod.
Well, Devin, there's no doubt that EVs are the future. In fact, we're at about a 7% market share now for EVs, which is about double what it was a couple of years ago. Here's another thing. Sam Abel-Samit, who is one of my best analysts when it comes to EVs, was at the New York Auto Show today. He talked to me about all of this and had some rather fascinating perspective.
Tesla will still continue to do well, but they're just probably not going to continue to be the dominant player for that much longer.
Tesla got out of the gate early and its stock price skyrocketed as a result. And though behind, the domestic three like GM and Ford are now deeply in the game. Ford with 3 EVs on the road, GM several too, both launching a handful this and next year, coming with some lofty goals.
Companies like GM, Ford, Stellantis are all targeting 50% EV market share for their brands by 2030. That's probably a bit optimistic. At Guidehouse, we're forecasting somewhere closer to mid-30s.
In going electric, automakers are making very difficult and expensive choices, like which kinds of batteries to use, where to find the rare earth minerals to make those batteries. In fact, some executives admit right now we don't have enough of those source materials.
We'll get there in time, but it will take some additional time, because especially when you're talking about setting up new mining operations and the processing can go a little bit faster, but the mining operations do take a long time to get those established.
And the industry is already looking at finding new kinds of batteries able to use more readily available and environmentally friendly elements.
There are going to be a lot of changes, both in terms of the battery chemistries and also the architecture of how the batteries are built, that will it'll get us more both cost advantages and environmental advantages.
And so today in New York, Stellantis rolled out the Ram 1500 EV. And one of the things that they're touting as they get in essentially third place with the domestic three with electric vehicles is they've got a 500-mile range. So they've been working on this thing for a while. And again, they're all going to be moving in that direction. But that Ram 1500, 14,000 pounds of pulling power. So they're working on it, and things are obviously improving. Reporting live, Rod Malone, Local 4.
Quite a journey so far, and so much more to come. All right, Rod. Karen.
Governor Whitmer today putting pen to paper to repeal Michigan's 1931 law banning abortion. The passage of Proposal 3 made the 1931 law moot, so this was largely a symbolic moment. The mood was upbeat, but not everyone is celebrating today. Paula Tutman spoke with 2 women who have different views on the abortion battle.
We know this is very polarizing, which is why we wanted to take a look at 2 very different points of view. Today in Birmingham, the repeal of the 1931 law that bans abortion in Michigan. With a stroke of a pen, the law is now off the books. In an exclusive sit-down interview with Governor Whitmer prior to striking down that law, the governor says she believes the momentum is on the side of reproductive rights, as evidenced by what's going on around the country.
After what happened in Wisconsin yesterday, after what we saw in Kansas about a year ago, this is a fundamental freedom that people have come to expect and rely on and are willing to fight for.
But striking down that law is felt very differently by different women. Taylor Hale, a rising reality personality, the first black to win the reality show Big Brother last year, says that she was terrified for herself and her peers when Roe v. Wade was struck down and the 1931 law banning abortion in Michigan hung in the wings.
As a 28-year-old woman, there are so many ways that the world tries to encroach on my ability to have control over my own body.
She believes passionately that the governor and abortion right advocates are correct to fight for legal and safe access to abortion care.
There are so many other people in this world, men specifically, that don't have to question what they can or cannot do with their bodies. Women my age are at crucial points, pivotal moments where they are maybe building families or maybe they're furthering their careers. But to have control over what we do with our own bodies is so pivotal to what we decide to do with the rest of our lives.
But attorney Rebecca Kiesling was visibly pained by the repeal of the abortion ban this morning.
She doesn't want to recognize people like me. She doesn't want to think about people who are alive today because they were protected.
She says it was that law that saved her life.
I learned at 18 that I was conceived in rape when my birth mother was abducted in Livonia by a serial rapist. My birth mother told me that if abortion had been legal, she would have aborted me. And in fact, went to illegal abortions and only backed out because of the fact that it was illegal and fear for her own safety.
During our sit-down interview, I specifically asked Governor Whitmer about Rebecca and others who believe banning the ban is not a day to celebrate. She says women shouldn't have to make those difficult choices. They should have this choice.
And that's what this is really all about, making sure that every young woman and person has the ability to make the choice that is right for them.
Paula Tutman, Local 4.
The city of Highland Park is responding to a legal setback in a battle over its unpaid water bills. The city says it just doesn't have the money. And yesterday, the state Supreme Court rejected an appeal from the city to avoid paying $24 million in unpaid water and sewer bills. More than 100 communities have had to help pay the cost, and they're now trying to collect, but Highland Park says it is just not possible. City released a statement saying its annual water and sewer bills of $7 million are growing, and almost as much as its total property tax collections of $9 million a year. Statement goes on to claim GLIWA, Great Lakes Water Authority, is charging the city 7 times the federal maximum rate. We'll see how GLIWA responds, but right now, no resolution in sight. Tomorrow is the unofficial holiday known as Opening Day at Comerica Park. It's almost an official holiday, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a holiday, man.
Sure.
Here's a live look at the ballpark in downtown Detroit where the Tigers will take on the Boston Red Sox. First pitch is set for 1:10. Of course, the celebrations start much earlier. Our morning team has you covered starting at 4:30 a.m. We are going to be inside Comerica Park to preview the new season. Also show you why this year will be extra special for the team and its fans. Lots of different changes.
Always a great day.